morning, everyone.
Good morning, Mrs. Coney and everyone.
Hey, this is our last powwow of the school year. Can you believe it?
Last one.
The last one of the school year. We'll start back in September, so that's so exciting. Hey, did you hear the good news?
What?
We get to go back to church next week.
Next week?
Next week. Next Sunday, we are going to get to come back to church.
It's my
Which-
dance.
Yeah. Which reminds me, I think Bubba was thinking we had powwow again, so I think I saw him off in the comments somewhere. Can you go tell him
Over there?
that we are going to be in church next
Oh,
week?
what's he doing?
Send him over here.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we do this, we would have done this in normal powwow. Boys and girls, how many books of the Bible are there? 66, that's right. How many books in the Old Testament are there? I hear you, 39. And how many are in the New Testament? Do the math real quick. 27, very good. So if we do books of the Bible for 2 years, how many books do we need to do every year? Half of 66 is 33, that's right. So we actually did 33 books of the Bible this year. So we are gonna do, we would have done this if we were all together, a massive review of all 33. Okay, you ready adults, you ready kids? Because we ended up starting way back here with the book of Nahum, Old Testament. The big idea was flood. Remember, this isn't Noah's flood, this is the flood of Nineveh. Habakkuk, Watchtower, Zephaniah, Day of the Lord, Haggai, Temple. They were rebuilding the temple. Do you guys remember the other book of the Bible? That's the rebuilding of the temple. That's right, Ezra. Good. Zechariah, Messiah.
Whoa.
And, oh, there you are. Hey,
how's it
Bubba.
going?
Yeah.
I was playing with my rock and I saw you over here, so I ran over and said hello. So hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Let me fix your shirt, Bubba. Hey, did Mr. Conan see you and tell you the good news?
What's that? No, he didn't.
Bubba, we get to go back to church
When?
next week.
Next
Next
week?
week.
Whoa! That's
Oh,
cool.
That's very exciting.
Okay, yeah.
Well, Mr. Conan went to go find you because you were going to work on getting you a ride to church and all that stuff. So.
I hope he doesn't take my rock.
Okay, so this was the last book of the Old Testament. This is the book of Malachi, and the big idea is hearts of stones. And then, boys and girls, there's a break between the Old Testament and the New Testament. Do you remember how many years that is? I heard someone say 400. Very good. 400 years between the Old Testament and the New Testament. So we're going to move on to the New Testament. This is the book of Matthew, Jesus is King. Mark, Jesus as servant. Luke, Jesus as the perfect man.
Ooh.
And
Ooh.
Mr. Conant, what is the matter with
I'm looking for Bubba. I'm running. I trip over a rock. It's like, what? And it's in. Anyway, I
you?
couldn't find him.
Bubba in that rock. He
Do
went
you have
that
any-
way. He went that way. Go to the bandstand. I think he's sitting up there. This is the book of John. Jesus as the Son of God. You guys getting these? Learned a lot of books this year. This is the book of Acts. The big idea is church. Romans, paid in full. 1 Corinthians, correcting the saints. 2 Corinthians, anatomy of an apostle. Galatians, unshackled. Bubba,
Yeah, I was out.
you're out of breath. What's the matter? Oh.
Ooh, that's a close one.
That was a close one.
I was running around
Okay.
and somebody moved my rock. it tilted a little bit and not crying or anything, but it just moved a little bit. I don't know why, but
You know what happened? Mr. Conant tripped on it.
is that why my rocks moved?
That's why you lost.
Hey, that's stupid. Mr. Conan, what's wrong with you? You gotta look where you're going.
I think he was bleeding.
You gotta think. Gotta think.
That Mr. Conant.
All right.
What do
Well,
you,
I
what
gotta
do you
go.
think about Mr. Conant?
Yo, he's super handsome. He doesn't have to do like a man, but still, he's a good-looking man.
Well, yeah. Well,
He is.
you should go tell him that you apologize because he tripped over your rock.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if my rock's okay first, and then I'll go see Mr. Conan.
All right.
Maybe I'll give him a hug. Little huggy? Okay.
Galatians, unshackled. Ephesians, bodybuilding. Philippians, happily humble. Colossians, commander-in-chief. Get near the end. 1 Thessalonians, stay on target. 2 Thessalonians, work while you wait. 1 Timothy, leadership manual. 2 Timothy, combat manual. Titus, conduct manual. Philemon, bondage to brotherhood. Hebrews, Bubba did a funny one with that, didn't he? Milk to meat. James, faith gauge.
Okay.
We're almost done.
I know, but it was funny. I was out there,
Oh,
and I was looking at the rock, and then Bubba came over and gave me a hug.
oh.
Super weird, but it was kind of neat. He's a good hugger. He was like tight, and that was kind of neat. And he told me about the church. That's pretty cool.
Good.
That's
Well, you were
like,
supposed to tell him about the church.
some reason he found out. I don't know how he found out, so I didn't need to tell him because he told me.
All right.
And
It'd be cool. Why don't you bring him in here and we can say goodbye together.
I'm gonna. And he's like, "You're good looking, man." That's weird. But he's a nice guy. So
He's a nice guy.
you want him in here?
Well, no, I guess you can stay for the end. You want to stay here? We're wrapping up our books of the Bible.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
First, you want to do it? First
Oh.
Peter, pain with a purpose.
Pain with a purpose. 2 Peter, poison in the pew.
Very good, Mr. Conan.
1 John, faith gauge, fellowship gauge,
Fellowship thermometer.
thermometer. 2 John,
John.
open the door.
No,
2 John, close the door.
bolt the door.
Bolt the door.
Now.
3 John, open the door.
Good. And last week we did this one. You might not know this. Bubba did this one with me. This is the book of Jude, and it's Fight
yeah.
for the Faith. So we have one more book left. All 66. The last one is Revelation, and the big idea is written right on there. Coming events. Boys and girls, there's more planned for us that the Bible has talked about that has not happened yet. And it's in the book of Revelation. It's actually in a few other books too, but there's a lot in Revelation. Jesus is coming back again in the clouds to take us home to be with him in heaven, and someday he's coming back to rule on earth as king. And we as Christians have got to equip ourselves to fight for our faith, because times might get hard at times as well. So I'm excited that you have learned all these books of the Bible and joined us in Powwow every week. And we'll see you back for Powwow in September, and we'll see you in church next week.
Next week. I'm taller than you.